Dawson's Rambles.
Hey YouTube, Dawson Ryder here, and I want to talk about Power Rangers related stuff again today. Big surprise! I kind of wanted to talk more, a small little expansion on the discussion of the potential Ryusoulger adaptation for Power Rangers 2021, the 28th season. So, is it too soon for dinos? Yes. Until next time, don't forget, it is too soon, but I just wanted to talk about a little bit like why we think it's too soon, but also why it's kind of okay. And like it really just ultimately won't matter if other things come into play. But it does feel too soon. As I mentioned, Ryusoulger, when it came out, felt too soon to the last Super Sentai series, which was Dino-based, which was Ryusoulger. It wasn't as soon as we're potentially getting between Dino Charge and whatever they end up calling Ryusoulger's adaptation, but it was still sooner than usual. We only had about, what, 5 series in between Ryusoulger and Ryusoulger. And as I mentioned in my last video, as well as the videos discussing Ryusoulger in the early days, you know, even though 5 years was a little bit longer and there were more individual series, another reason it's going to feel closer for us is because Dino Charge was 2 seasons, at least with Ryusoulger Ryusoulger's gap, there was distinct series in between it. But even with that, it also felt soon because if you did follow both PR and Sentai, we got Dino Charge, so we were dealing with dinos for a lot longer. And then of course they had Ryusoulger Brave. Whether or not you watched that, it was kind of present. You know, you probably knew of its existence, and then they had 33.5, so like, kind of like Dino, Ryusoulger just kind of lingered, just, you know, lingering. So it made it feel even sooner. So it was soon on, like this is the gap, which was kind of, so this is a normal gap between Dino Sentai. This was the gap between them now, and then because Ryusoulger lingered, it felt like this. And now because Ryusoulger lingered and Dino Charge, the gap between the PR series feels like this, to us. Now with Sentai, the reason it happened is because Sentai was going through a bit of a rough patch. You know, their numbers weren't as good, and Dino series almost always do good for them. Ryusoulger did like amazing for them, best in years. It's the reason that it also did well with Korea, where we got Dino Force Brave, and the reason that we ended up skipping over so we could do Dino Charge soon, because Dinos do so well and Dino Charge did good. So it was at least guaranteed to be decent numbers for them, and they needed that, which is why they went for the safe bet, which is Ryusoulger. So that it made sense for them to do it. When Ryusoulger came out, I was a little bit disappointed it was Dino-based, but, you know, I understood why, and so long as it entertained me on some level, I was going to be okay with it. Now, whether or not Ryusoulger fully lived up to that promise is a matter of debate. That's kind of the way I feel about the Power Rangers Dino series. A lot of people are really upset because it feels too soon, and I totally get that, and I do wish we would have taken a little bit of a breather. There's lots of reasons not to think it's that big of a deal. I mean, first of all, I feel like there's this general attitude, several different attitudes around if your favorite Sentai doesn't get adapted. If you want a Ranger, that's my favorite, Ranger. Ryusoulger or Tokyuger or Q-Ranger, Loop Pat, whatever you wanted. There's like a couple attitudes I see running around is like, if it doesn't get adapted, somehow your favorite Sentai is invalidated. It's gonna be erased from the timeline, like, oh my god, Q-Ranger didn't get adapted, it's erased, what's a Q-Watcher? Doesn't even exist. It still exists. If Q-Ranger never gets touched, it's still there for you to enjoy. Nothing's happening to it. In fact, if it gets adapted, you probably would say, how did they ruin Q-Ranger? Even though Q-Ranger has not been touched. It still exists. And also, if it gets adapted, like if Ryusoulger's adapted, we're not getting more Ryusoulger. You're not getting more of the same show. More of the same aesthetics, yeah, but not more of the same show. It's not like we're gonna be getting Q-Ranger Season 2 or Ryusoulger Season 2. And your Sentai can still be your favorite Sentai. It doesn't make it more or less valid if it gets adapted or not. Another point is, we never know if we're gonna go back to this in any form. With this, I figured it might dial back a little bit because of the Beast Morpher stuff, because that was a huge plot twist. Like I said in my last video, I still can't believe that happened. We're about to get the 2nd season, and I still can't believe we went all the way back to Go Busters. And so anything is possible with that. You know, we never know whether we're gonna touch any of these skipped seasons. We could do a Tokyuger adaptation in 10 years. We could all of a sudden use the Zyuranger designs, or the Zyuranger. We could use the Zyuranger designs for the 17,000th time in a plot twist. The Zyuranger designs in a comic in like 4 years. You never know. Like, you can always say you never know, but in terms of Power Ranger stuff after the Go Busters adaptation, I honestly think that anything could be possible with that. We really don't know what they might do. The last point is kind of, honestly, even though I feel it's too soon in a lot of ways, I'm ultimately okay with it for a couple reasons, and number one being, so long as the show's good, I'm happy. But was there other Sentai I would have liked to see in between Beast Morphers and the potential Ryusoulger adaptation? Sure. But I'm also the oddball that, what's the next one I want to see adapted personally? Number one, nothing. I want to see us divorced from Sentai and do our own thing completely. That's what I want to see, but I'm kind of the oddball. But I'm still interested to see partially what we would do with these series. So I have a little bit of a different perspective on it. But my thing is that so long as it's decent, even though I'd like to see something different in between, I'll be happy, you know, because Power Rangers has been so blah, and it's really struggled to come up with something outside of the comics that's really awesome. So I want to see it be at least as good as Beast Morphers, but start with the improvements Beast Morphers made and go beyond that. That's so long as Ryusoulger tries to improve and is better, or the Ryusoulger adaptation, I'm happy. That's really what's most important to me at this moment, is seeing the franchise improve storytelling and writing-wise, and not so much the aesthetics. Plus, on another positive note, I really do want Ryusoulger figures. In fact, that's the #1 reason I would want to see any of these figures. Or, see? Freudian slip. The main reason I'd want to see any adaptation is for the figures. Like, I want to see Tokiger because I want a Tokurokuga figure. I want to see Kyuranger because I want figures for it. That's the same thing here. Like, I really love the Ryusoulger designs, especially Max Ryusoul Red. I love all the armors, so I am really, truly excited about the potential of getting figures for all of those. Now, so I would have wanted them to do Ryusoulger eventually if they stuck with this model, but that's a positive side. If we're getting that in 2021, that means sooner potential for those figures, and that's exciting for me. And the only other point I wanted to bring up really quick is that if you've watched Ryusoulger, it actually leans more heavily on the night theme. Like, the dinosaur theme almost doesn't matter. You could replace it with like tigers or dragons or bottle caps or something, and the core themes and story of the show wouldn't change that much. It definitely leans more towards the night vibe. So I think that that could be another positive if the Power Rangers adaptation also more so leans on the night theme rather than the dino theme. It might make it feel a little bit less too soon. So that's something to think about as well. Anyway, this video ended up being longer than I intended, so I apologize. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell so you get notifications for my videos. Until next time, Dawson Ryder, signing out.